Let's talk about the law of resonance and why it is actually more important than the law of attraction or the law of assumption. This is the key. You don't get in life what you want. You don't attract what you want. You attract, you get what you are. And this is the concept of the law of resonance. Who you are, your vibrational identity, so to speak, attracts its equivalent match. So in this video, we're gonna explain why that is and why so many people get things wrong and keep on attracting things that they don't want in their life simply because they're not a match to what they want. And this makes a big difference. So let's go straight into this video. So what is the law of resonance in a nutshell? Well, you might remember your science class, or you might have seen some of those popular YouTube videos about the tuning fork experiment. And it looks something like this. Pretty cool, isn't it? So you see, because those two tuning forks are tuned in, vibrating in the same exact way, when you hit one, it activates the vibration on the second one. You might have seen other form of studies like this with guitar chords. So when you hit a specific chord on the guitar, the other guitar in the room, that chord, the same chord, will start to vibrate as well, right? You might have seen the pendulum, you might have seen those sound things where you change the frequency of the sound and the salt will start to rearrange itself in some form of spiritual drawings on the board, right? So all of this represents the law of resonance. We are electromagnetic being. We have a frequency, right? Your brain, your heart are constantly, all the time, generating a field of energy around you. In fact, your heart field is 4 times bigger than your brain. So based on how you think and how you feel, you are generating and changing your own electromagnetic field all day, every day. And that's why you go into certain situations and you can intuitively, subconsciously feel the vibe of a person or feel the vibe of a room, or you get information beyond your senses simply because you connect, right? And when you're in harmony with another people's vibe, you kind of connect. It's easy, it flows. And when there is a disconnect, when there's something wrong, you also feel it. You may not know why it is wrong, what's happening, but you get that visceral feeling in your gut, just knowing something is off. That is also the law of resonance. So I want to take it one step further, because your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your identity, especially your vibrational identity, meaning your state of consciousness, right? The person who you are has its own electromagnetic signature, so to speak. So you are vibrating in a certain way in a quantum field where everything is energy. You have a vibrational signature that is you right now, okay? And that you right now is a match to certain specific situation, events, and life conditions. So if you see yourself as only being able to make a certain amount of money, you will vibrate to that level and you will create a life situation to maintain that level, right? If you are constantly worried or angry or anxious or feeling guilty, you're going to perpetuate those emotions, because you're going to keep on attracting those experiences that are matched to you. Why? Because you are transmitting those emotions, those thoughts, that state of mind, your actions. And life as a mirror is simply reflecting back to you. So you could say that you are drawing those experiences, drawing more things to represent how you are feeling, who you are being in your life. So this is why the law of resonance is actually more important than the law of attraction. But both things mean the same thing. You attract what you are. But people sometimes get confused thinking that if I just think or visualize something, I can attract it. But meanwhile, who they really are, their identity, their core, has not changed. And so they wonder why sometimes they get a win and then they go back to the old pattern, or they struggle to actually create those big wins, those big manifestations, those big changes in their life. All along, who they really are, how they really think, their relationship with themselves, their self-confidence, their self-esteem has not changed. So they continue to see themselves, for example, as not being good enough, as feeling unworthy, something is wrong with them. And so they try to manifest cars and experiences and money and success in order to compensate for those feelings, right? And all over again, the only thing they demonstrate is that they're not good enough, that they're falling behind, that there's something wrong with them. And so they start to wonder, why is it that this is not working for me? This is something that I see in a lot of my clients that come to me for coaching, right? They're trying all those things, they're doing all those things, and they're still not getting what they want, or they see some small result, but they feel like they're stagnating. Nothing is really changing because their sense of identity, who they really are subconsciously, has not changed. So if subconsciously you keep on seeing yourself as being unlovable, as being ugly, as being not good enough, as being like unworthy of what you want, how could you ever attract a loving, genuine relationship? Because if you yourself cannot see your own value, how could other people that you attract in your life could reflect anything else? So how could they treat you anything differently than how you treat yourself, than how you see yourself? And this is the great paradox, is that a lot of people go into the world to try to get what they need to fill that gap or to change that feeling, that identity, right? But over and over and over again, what they realize is that the hamster wheel never ends, because they get one relationship and it doesn't work. The second one looks like the first one, and the patterns repeat themselves, right? They get some money, something happens, they spend it, and they're back exactly where they started financially. And so even though they feel like they're advancing, something always pulls them back, right? Because they are all along still a match to the same tuning fork. So you have to raise your vibration. So I agree with that, but more importantly, you have to understand, what am I actually broadcasting into this universe? What is life as a mirror reflecting back to me? What is that sense of identity? What is the core? My blind spot, as Carl Jung would say, what is your shadow that you're not aware of, that is actually causing you to create that life situation that you are in right now? And once you identify that, bring awareness, bring light to the shadow, and you can integrate this part of you, you can start to change, increase your vibrational identity. So the frequency of your tuning fork start to change, start to increase, and now you start to become a match to different experiences. So the old tuning fork no longer calibrate, no longer resonate with who you are being now. Now you start to become in resonance with other things, other people, other experiences, different amount of money, because the container, your body, your mind, the container has expanded. Now you can hold more money, you can hold more love, you can give more love. So who you are being has changed. And this is the key to making the law of attraction, the law of assumption work, is to become a match to what you want. And to become a match to what you want, you really need to do that deep work. It's not just about compensating, I want to manifest more money or more love or a partner, somebody to make me feel special. You're missing the point. You're missing why you have that desire in the first place. And often it comes from a feeling of unworthiness. It comes from a feeling of fear. It comes from shame. It comes from like, I need to show myself that I can be successful so I can finally feel good enough about myself, right? So you're seeking validation. You're seeking worthiness behind the intention of a lot of things you try to create. And that's why it keeps on evading you, or you get it and then boom, something happens to remind you that you are unworthy, that you're not good enough, and that you're always missing out. So if this kind of pattern sounds familiar in your life, look at your identity, look at your self-image, and start changing those core beliefs. Start upgrading your vibrational identity, and you're gonna start becoming a match to new experiences in your life. And if you need help to do this, and if you need somebody to help you bring light into your blind spot, into your shadow, you can simply go in the description down below. There is a link for one-on-one coaching, and together we can help you look at what are the patterns that are keep on perpetuating your life situation, and then work together to dissolve them and accelerate your success. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understand the power of the law of resonance and why you must become the person that naturally draws to you those experiences. The arrow doesn't draw the target. It's the target that draws the arrow. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, remember to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you can be reminded every time a new video comes out. Thank you for helping me grow this channel. I will see you next time. Be well.